life on the farm, the work is never done. I had to get to planting yesterday. My seedlings inside under the lights were just getting too big, and I don't know, it was either they're going to die inside or they're going to die outside. So I decided to come out and plant everything. I don't know how it's going to go. Everything was just getting too leggy, and I'm learning this process. I started everything from seeds inside the house about a month ago, and I think that might have been too early. So I don't know how this is going to go. They all sprouted so quickly. I guess I didn't expect everything to sprout up so fast, and it's not even May here yet, which is definitely too early to plant in New Jersey because we still could have a pretty bad frost even through May. So fingers crossed that that doesn't happen. I mean, look at my beans. The beans were like 8 or 9 inches tall already. I had to get them out here. So like I said, either they were going to die inside under the lights or they're going to die out here. Hopefully that won't be the case. And I'll get some pretty good yield from this stuff. And if not, I'll just have to start over again from seeds. Like I said, they went pretty quickly, so this is a learning experience for me. And if all else fails, I'll just have to buy them from already sprouted plants. The other thing about it is that now it's gonna rain for days, and I'm just nervous that all my little seedlings are gonna drown out there, but I don't know. I tell you what, today's a perfect day for sleeping. Good morning! Oh, heck no. I've got to go take a shower before I start. I'm getting way too comfortable with you guys. You see, this is why we need to get back to normal. And I need a haircut regularly. It's just really the top that gets so heavy. It just starts growing up and fluffy like a fern. My boyfriend hates this dress. He says it makes me look stumpy. He hates the high waist. I've always kind of loved it, not to mention it's so comfortable. I got it at a flea market. It has a shorter cut front, but a flowy back. It's totally the Mrs. Roper. But now that I'm seeing myself on the video, I kind of think he's right. I will always admit to him when he's right, and he is right a lot of times. Just like the garden project, he's like, your garden's gonna flood. I told you not to put it there. I'm like, it's not gonna flood. One day later, it flooded. He tells me my dress looks stumpy. I'm like, nah, I look great. I don't look stumpy. Turns out, I look kind of stumpy. All right, so fashion show aside, today we're gonna make this awesome new recipe for chocolate chip cookies. Now, I've shared chocolate chip cookie recipes with you guys before. I think this one, I really hit on a winner. It's only 4 ingredients, literally 4 ingredients. And the reason why this all happened in the first place, in my last video, I think I told you guys that I'm having a problem getting flour. There's like, ever since this whole thing happened, all the flour in the stores are out. I cannot get my hands on some all-purpose flour. So at Whole Foods, I threw away the box. It's Whole Foods brand all-purpose flour blend. So it's actually like a biscuit flour. So it's sort of like a biscuit, right? So it's like your self-rising flours. Now, I have never been an advocate for self-rising flour. I never would use it because it has an addition of baking powder and salt already in it. And I don't love that. As a baker / pastry chef, you want to be able to control your own ingredients. But it's the apocalypse, and so you can't find what you normally are used to getting. So here's the silver lining. Let's always look on the bright side. Haven't been able to get all-purpose flour. I figured, what the heck? Let me try this. What else am I gonna do? So I used it in my chocolate chip cookie recipe. So good, you guys. Actually, it is so much better than even the recipe I used before, where I was adding egg replacer, plant milk. I don't even know what else was in it, but it was like a whole long list of ingredients. And this one literally has 4 ingredients. It would have 5 if I had vanilla extract, but since I don't, it only has 4. But honestly, I don't even think it needs it. I'm not missing it. So 2 sticks of vegan butter, 3/4 of a cup of brown sugar or white sugar, 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour biscuit waffle blend, or whatever the heck this stuff was. I'm sure Bisquick would be fine. I have lucked out with these awesome chocolate chips from Wegmans, dairy-free and super cheap. I love them. All right, creamed butter and sugar, add the flour, add the chips. That's it, you're done. A cup of chips, like however much that you want to use is like totally up to you. And that's it. So easy to make. So this is going to be like, look at how I can hold this, right? So this is not like your typical cookie dough where it's like a little bit stickier. This is more of this is more in the style of a shortbread cookie, which is why I love this so much, I think, because it keeps them really crispy on the outside. Not like super crispy, but crispy on the outside with a nice chewy inside. And that's what I love about a chocolate chip cookie. And that's sometimes hard to achieve in a vegan recipe, because vegan recipes, whether it's cake or cookies, just tend to be so super moist, which is not a bad thing usually, but when you want a crispy cookie, like you want a crispy cookie, right? I think this recipe makes like 16 of this size. This is a 2-ounce scoop. Now the thing about this recipe though is because it is like a shortbread cookie, and shortbread cookies typically we roll them out and cut them out, so these aren't going to spread a lot. So I definitely do want to press them down to the size that I want them to be, because these cookies are not going to really spread. Remembers my little trick for getting cookies to actually look as pretty as they taste. And nuts if you like nuts, but then all of a sudden it's like a 6 or 7 ingredient recipe, and you guys are gonna call me out for being clickbait. Every time I make a video or a recipe where I'm like, it's 1 ingredient, and then I end up putting in like 2 or 3 or 4 more ingredients, and my boyfriend's like, how did your 1 ingredient waffle just go to 4 ingredients? Like, you can't count water. That's not an ingredient. Everybody's got water. All right, oven's preheated. I think these take about 15 minutes, 350 degrees. I'm gonna check it at 12 though, just to be sure. I bet you didn't know I played the spoons. Alexa, stop. 17 minutes, perfect. Off, off. Yeah, can you see that? Looking good. Now, the reason for these cookies in the first place was, number 1, I wanted to show you my all-purpose flour blend that already has the baking powder and salt in it. If you have sugar and vegan butter, that's all you need, right? That's all I used. Oh, and chocolate chips, of course. But yeah, if you've only got those 4 ingredients, you have perfect chocolate chip cookies. The other reason I wanted to make these was because I want to eat them. and I am working on a giant project that I'm going to bring you guys along. I'm doing it for you. It's sort of like a draw my life, but not really, because there's nobody to actually draw for me. I'm going to do it with actual pictures, so it's going to be more like a slideshow, and it's not like my life, but what I was thinking with all of this social distancing and how we're just so away from everybody now, it just got me really thinking of like how each person in your life sort of plays a role in getting you to another part of your life. Like not every person, but there's some people in my life that have played major roles in introducing me to maybe somebody else, who then that person got me to this place, and then that place got me to that place. And so I've really been thinking about all of those people from the first major influence in my life that then got me to meet other people and got me to different places and different stages in my life that ultimately got me to the bakery, and then even farther than that got me into doing this whole video thing, which got me connected to all of you guys. So I think it's really cool to look at sort of like this social tree, if you will. So yeah, let's do that. Let's eat some cookies and take a look at 3 decades in the life of Gretchen Price. I already ate 1. This is 2. I only get 2 more. They're good. They're crispy, which I do like. So what we're going to do in the meantime, all right, so I've been going through like photographs, pictures, real deal pictures of my past life, and gonna tell you guys the story of how this person got me to meet that person, and then that person got me, to this place in my life. And I think it's really cool when you can kind of do a timeline and track the most influential people who really played some major roles in getting you to where you are in your life right now. I think it's a really cool connect the dots kind of a thing. So let's check it out. Bake yourself some cookies, make yourself comfortable, and follow me through 30 years of my life and how I got to where I am now. Well, as it turns out, the most influential person in my life was my friend Tracy. But I would not have met her if not for my dad. He knew her from the diner where she worked. I had just turned 15. It was 1988. She got me a job at the diner where she worked. Tracy and I became fast friends, even though she was a whole lot of years older than me. I worked at this diner for almost 10 years and even stayed through an ownership change. That new owner was Chris. He was a Culinary Institute of America graduate. I'd often hang out in the bakery that this diner had on the premises, and I'd watch the baker prepare all the pastries. I'd use every excuse there was to go into the bakery. Chris then encouraged me to go to CIA. And by that time, I was 21, and I was finally ready to go. Just a couple months before I left for school, though, I met Tommy, who was yet another major influence, and I also met him through Tracy. Now, her boyfriend Dennis was doing carpentry work in Tommy's new house, and that's how I met him. Tommy and I stayed together for 12 years off and on, and since he lived near Princeton, New Jersey, it was through him that I found out about Main Street Catering Company. This was my first job out of school and the highlight of my career. I worked for Main Street for 8 years. It was here that I met Drew, my soon-to-be partner in the bakery that we would soon buy together. By 2005, the Woodland Bakery was for sale, and this took me from living in South Jersey near Princeton all the way up to North Jersey in Chatham, New Jersey. I quickly became very unhealthy from all the stress, the long hours, and the poor diet that consisted mostly of cake every day. I knew I had to change something, so I joined a gym. Now my new territory up here in northern New Jersey brought me to Final Round Boxing and Fitness. This is where I met Steph, the producer.
She and I became instant friends, and her love for filming and creating video content launched the greatest thing that ever happened, Crumboss TV. What fun we had, until it just wasn't fun anymore. We were both overwhelmed in our personal jobs, and filming videos every weekend just proved to be way too much for both of us. And sadly, that went goodbye. However, I did continue to make videos under the Woodland Bakery name with Jason, who I met ironically through Steph, and this went on until I sold the bakery. With a fabulous party to celebrate my divorce from the bakery after 10 long, brutal years, I was excited to be on my way. And Florida was that way. This is where I launched Gretchen's Bakery, my third restart of my YouTube channel and blog. And for 1.5 years, I worked every day, all day, rebuilding my channel with hopes that it could be, at the very least, enough to pay the bills and get by. This proved a big no. Although I could have stayed in Florida with my mom, something was calling me back home. A long-anticipated reunion with my sisters brought Dwayne into my life, and I can happily say that I am finally settled. While the video business didn't go as planned, everything truly is perfect. Sometimes we make wishes on 11:11 on the digital clock, and I always tell him I don't know what to wish for because I have everything I could ever ask for. But wait, there's more. Except I can't tell you the rest yet. You'll have to wait. In just another week or so, I do have an epic surprise for you all, and those who have been with me from the beginning will be excited to see who's back in town.
All right, so I hope you guys really liked that little slideshow timeline of what got me where I am today. I had a lot of fun with it. So yeah, I just want to say thanks a lot to you guys for watching my videos. First of all, commenting. I love reading all of your comments. And stay tuned for the surprise that I have coming soon. I love you guys so much. You are the reason why I keep doing this. Your love, support, and encouragement to keep making these videos is really what's keeping me going. So thanks again, guys, and I will see you again in the next vlog.